Unstoppable! We are here today at the beautiful Sunshine Coast, Queensland, to interview a friend of mine, a teammate of mine, and an Australian legend, Martin Fraser. Now, Johnny Boy, as a two-time former middleweight champion, is a recently international fighter, but more importantly, what we get to witness today is the legacy he's leaving behind in his brand new gym, the Oasis Fight Academy. Now, I've never been here before, so this is my first time seeing firsthand how he coaches, but more importantly, which is more special to me, is the community that he's built. On social media, they got a really good vibe, they got a really good presence. So I'm looking forward to seeing the legacy he's leaving behind in the next generation in his fight team. So let's go say hi to Johnny and let's jump in the session.
Martin Fraser!
Don't you ever stop and think, Lila's gonna have babies one day, and they're gonna go, look at Grandad John, and look what a mad cunt he was, fucking going in the cage and fighting people.
Talking about arseholes in the room. We've been teammates for a few years now.
You're an arsehole, like.
That was a good segue, wasn't it?
I want to attack being a coach, the same mentality as I have a fighter. I just want to take as many fights as I can, just make some memories and make some money. Win, lose or draw, I just want to go out there and make fights that I'm going to look back and go, that was cool as fuck. Hello.
How you doing? Hello.
What's happening?
Hey Johnny, what's up, man?
What's up, man? Nice to see you, boy.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Am I late?
No later than everyone else.
Oh no. All right, well, don't make me do any sprints or push-ups. I'll get ready as fast as I can. What have we got tonight? What are we in store for?
We've got an hour of striking, so we're just going to go through a couple of drills and hopefully get you to teach a bit of a technique yourself.
Oh yeah?
And then we've got an hour to an hour and a half of open mat then, just jiu-jitsu.
Perfect, perfect. Well, I might get dressed, ready to go, and I'll jump in, hey?
Happy days.
Awesome.
Thanks, man. See you in a sec. Hey guys, I don't want 3 business days in between kicks, okay? I want it to be like kick, 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 okay? Keep them a little bit faster, back and forth. Chest, jab, fake. That feint this load your step. As a fighter starting out, I could never ever imagine me being a coach, you know? And obviously through the years of learning what I have, and I've grown more confidence as a coach. I jab, I feint, and now I'm gonna heel click the other side, and I'm gonna kick his back leg, okay? So guys that don't switch his stance often, their back leg is gonna be way less conditioned, okay? The front leg is gonna be able to take a shot a lot more than the back leg, okay? So when we feint, I'm gonna just a hip and knee, as if you're like pointing your cock towards him, bump, and then you throw the kick. Bam. That's it. And now even more so where I get to learn of you guys, like you, Doyley, Steve, Elliot, like I'm just adding to that skill set that I can pass on, you know? If I look back 10, 15 years ago and I told myself that I was doing this, that would blow my mind. I want to attack being a coach, the same mentality as I have a fighter. What I mean by that is, the mindset of being a coach and a fighter are 2 polar opposites. You've got to be selfish as a fighter and you have to be selfless as a coach. It's not about you. I don't want to be center stage. I want it to be about the boys that train you, but I want to attack with the same mentality and commitment that I do a fighter. I want to pass on any knowledge that I know, or if I can have people like yourself come up and teaching bits that you know. I think I want to just benefit the people from my gym as much as I possibly can. I want them to do as good, way better than I ever have, you know what I mean? I'd love to, in 10, 15 years, who knows, I could have a world champion in one day. You know, you got people like Della, okay? Like Ben's been coaching for X amount of time, and now he has a world champion welterweight in his gym. And I think that's achievable for me to do so as well, like, you know? Like Bailey and Isaac now, who are 2 passionate boys, youngsters that are coming through, bring them up and teach them as much as possible, get them to do as good as they possibly can, but also like give equally as much attention to the dad of 3 that wants to come in and learn martial arts because he wants to stay fit and fucking be physically ready to protect his family or whatever reason people have. Like, you know, I don't want to just target for fighters and neglect the everyday person. I want to put as much effort and time into everybody, you know.
It's a pretty different and special dynamic becoming a mentor for people. It comes with its own stresses and different things. How are you taking that responsibility of like people looking up to you and taking your word as law?
Anything I tell someone, I have confidence in what I'm telling them. I really give a fuck about the people that I'm teaching, so I have like a lot of confidence. I wouldn't give someone advice or tell someone to do something that I didn't 100% believe in. Like.
Now, if you could give yourself advice, let's say someone moving into the sport, what would you give them to put them on the right track from the get-go?
I'd say find a coach that gives a fuck about you and someone that you trust with their skill set, and dive headfirst in. Dive headfirst in and give it full commitment. People, youngsters, and like myself including when I was younger, partying and drinking and everything else, like it's a dead end. Like chase something you love doing. Like all the partying and all that, like anyone can do that. But like not anyone can be a fighter or an athlete, whether that's fucking playing snooker for fuck's sake, like whatever it is, just dive into that 100%.
I'm Bailey Raab, been training with John and Doyley since I moved to Sunny Coast about a couple of years ago. Been training especially here for the last 4 months. So I'm a fighter out here. I've had 3 MMA fights. I've just recently fought on Eternal MMA 98 it was. Got the win there. Used a lot of wrestling that I've learned here. But at the gym, it's been awesome so far. Like, such a good community, everything. Like great guys to train with, you know, especially under the tutors of John, Geordie and Doyley. Sometimes he needs subtitles, bro, but yeah, he slows himself down. Yeah, so it's pretty good, bro.
Exactly the same, yeah. Exactly the same footwork, just in reverse. Okay, but I'm not pushing off this foot now. I'm going to heel flick. My back leg is going to replace my lead leg, and I come around. Yeah.
What's one thing you think people don't realize about diving headfirst into a sport, especially MMA?
Just be prepared to be bad at the start. You're going to lose, and it's going to hurt, but don't give up there. Just continue to do it for the love of it. Fall in love with the sport and just keep going. Like, don't just stop because you have a bad training session or a bad month or a bad 6 months. Just keep going.
Thanks, Johnny boy, for throwing me in the deep end, huh? Hopefully it's something cool so you guys remembered me, right? This combination works every single time on Johnny. So whenever you're sparring, make sure you let him know that I taught you this. So it's just setting up a system for a half-beat head kick. And just my thought process going behind it. Johnny just then was going through different ways of setting up the same kind of kick on different sides. I'm more or less doing the same thing, okay? So what we're gonna do is what I call a whole beat reload. So we're gonna go cross, reload, kick. Yes, that would be a whole beat, right? 1, 2, 3. Then we're gonna do a half beat. Boom. I use the whole beat to get him comfortable with my timing. I hit the half beat to get around his defense. So one more time, move around, whole beat. Hey, boom, you got checks, easy. Change the timing of it. Johnny can either double cover on the head kick, or I just kick him in the body just so I don't hurt anyone in the fed. Cool, there's your options. On the third one, purposely miss and just drag your leg up behind it. Famous knockouts on this one, Whitaker or Leon Edwards against Usman. It's textbook, it's super easy. The biggest thing that they've all done is they purposely miss to shorten that distance so that head kick lands 80% of the time. Yeah, I almost think about like kicking my own hand and sandwich his big old head between my foot and my shin. One more time. 1, whole beat, boom. Land and half beat, boom, boom. Third one, miss and head beat. Go. 3, 2, 1. 1 and 2, good. 1, 2, good. Now I'll try and check it, ready? Go again. 1 and push.
Head first,
good. Go again.
deep in, break down the shin.
Easy, nice one.
Don't care, in the fire, right there. 10 years, 10 deep, no rest, no sleep.
We do it for the legacy. Yeah, we making history. We do it for the legacy. Yeah, we making history.
Made the money, start to go, never doing what we talk. Made the memory.
We show up and bring the fight. Global vision, world stage. Done cash, turn the page. Living loud, living fast. Build a dream that's gonna last. We don't fade away. We don't fade away. Top floor. We here to stay.
Have I seen that before?
We do it for the legacy.
Oh no! Almost lost him. Nah, he fell over. That was a tough session, man. That way more effort than I was expecting to put in today, considering it's Friday afternoon. That cooked me. It was really cool to kind of see the striking class you've got. Quite impressed with the talent you've got in the room and the jiu-jitsu class as well. Is that a lot of like people that have trained with you in the past, or you know you got a few guys that are part of the gym with you, but where's the numbers coming from?
A bit of a mix. I think Jordy's been coaching for quite a while, and I think he's very talented as a coach. Not just talented, I think he works so hard as being a good coach. I think he's got a good following of people that he's built up for quite a long time that have followed him over to the gym. So yeah, we've got a good standard, like a mix of from a white all the way up to black belts, like, you know. Yeah, it's quite a lot of depth in the room and different kind of looks you're gonna get.
Good vibes as well. Like, how long you guys been open now?
Coming up to 4 months, I think.
Yeah, for like such a young community, it already feels like a really strong like bond. Yeah, like the banter in the room is really good. You can see these guys going off to the side already kind of teaching and showing each other things. I think, like I said, already having coach in different areas and people coming together to follow you, Geordie and Doily, that kind of brings that culture together pretty quickly. And yeah, it's a fun room to be a part of. Yeah,
for sure. It's like you want a room full of like-minded people, like, you know, and just kind of weeding out any assholes, you know. It's like you just want people to be there having a good time and just your mates catching up and training together. It's good.
Talking about arseholes in the room, we've been teammates for a few years now.
You're an arsehole, like.
That was a good segue, wasn't it? When did you join Team Compton?
Yeah, about 18 months, something like that. Yeah.
I remember you came and did a session at the gym. You were kind of touring around Australia and checking out different gyms and kind of just upskilling a little bit. What made you stick around or come down and stay with Compton?
And I liked the training there, you know. It was like good culture. The boys just like taking a piss at each other, like everyone was good mates, training hard but like safe as well. I always known it as a good striking gym, but then the times that I'd been down there, what taken me back was how high level the grappling was, you know, and not just the jiu-jitsu there, but the MMA style of jiu-jitsu. I think training with boys like Dom really opened my eyes up about how good the MMA grappling is, how you mix the grappling in with the ground and pound, and that just completely sold it on me, you know. And I think the culture was a massive selling point as well. Like, you know, I really thought like, oh, these boys are my kind of people, like, you know.
Just a bunch of idiots, really.
Yeah.
I don't know if being one of your type of people is a compliment or a hindrance, something that I want on my resume, but no, I still remember the first kind of time you came into the gym when you made the official move down. And I think at that point you had 12 fights under your belt. You had the belt and fought for the belt multiple times. And if you hadn't joined, there was probably a pathway where in the next 6, 8, 10, 12 months, we were going to cross paths. The trajectory that I was on that year, as you joined, I quickly got through the ranks quite fast, and there's a chance that we were going to fight. So when you first joined the team, I remember thinking, fuck this boy, like, let's show down. And what took me back, I don't know if I ever told you this, it was a lesson you taught me the very first day you joined, was I was a nobody. I had, three fights under my belt. I thought I was the bee's knees. You came in and you started moving around. We're kind of doing a good round. And you started landing this combination over and over. And I was like, boy, you've got me with that 3 times in a row. That's sick. And you turned around and said, yeah, you've hit me with it 10 times. So I figured I might start learning from you. And I was like, you've had 12, 13 fights under your belt. I was a nobody in your eyes. You're one of the reigning champions and legends of the sport. And your first session, you're asking me questions and getting me to teach you, and being humble enough to take a lesson from anyone in the room on your first day kind of hit me in the face a little bit like, oh, I'm approaching this sport the wrong way. Like, so wrong. you were so humble, and you were like, I think we spoke for about half an hour after the class, and I was showing you my idea there, and you were sharing your thoughts. I'm like, I'm a nobody in the realm of this sport, and you were just sitting there taking in as much information from me as possible. And you taught me a very valuable lesson that day. And I think I've carried that on since then, and we've beaten the shit out of each other every session since. But from the first day, I went from having this ego, like, all right, cool, like now the competition's in my room, to, oh no, this guy's gonna teach me so much about myself and the sport. Do you remember that session?
I think so, yeah. I don't know.
It was a big session for me, and you're like, it meant nothing to me.
No, I think so. Fuck, I'd be daft not to learn if you keep hitting me with the same thing 10 times, you know? No, I think it's that like cliche thing of like being a white belt in whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever you do, like be a white belt and then like be willing to learn off people, like, innit? I don't think I've never thought of myself as like, oh, I'm above anyone because I've got X amount of fights, especially when that person's beating me up and training, you know? If I could train with someone that's only been training for 6 months, but they might be really good at this one thing, like I'd be stupid not to appreciate that and go, teach me how to do that, you know? I think that's what I love about the sport. I think you should be able to learn or be humble enough to learn off anyone you train with. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that was a big reality check for me, to put whatever ego or how big I thought I was or going to be aside, and respect the sport for what it is. And yeah, I've taken that lesson all the way through my career since that point. And we've had some pretty good training sessions, and we just traveled recently for an international fight with you on UAE Warriors. You're now officially an international fighter. How's that feeling?
Yeah, it's mad. It's just cool. I had a couple of moments on that trip where I was like, I knew, like, you know, I was fortunate enough for you captured a moment of me reflecting on that.
What a cool fucking life. Fly the other side of the world, fucking fight some cunt you don't know, you never met. It's fucking mental, mate. It's cool as fuck. I've been fucking out to it since you known me. It's mental, mate. It's fucking wild.
Looking back at how crazy of a life it is to do what I'm doing, you know. I think I'm very fortunate to have found something I love doing and be able to chase it like I have, you know. And it's, yeah, that trip was fucking wild. I feel like it's just a start of something different, like, you know.
For sure. And you said you've been doing this 10 years?
I think so, yeah.
When you started 10 years ago,
yeah,
what was your mindset or, I guess, goal going into it? When you had your first fight, what did you think was in your future with the sport?
Fuck, I never thought I'd be doing what I'm doing. Like, even when I was a little kid, I always wanted to be a fighter, but I didn't know what that was. I romanticised about it, but I never thought I'd be a professional athlete. I must have been a couple of fights in where I thought, I'm actually a professional athlete. Before I'd made $1 off it, like, I was training like a professional athlete, you know, and like, I became that, you know. But when I first started, I don't know, I was scared the fuck out of me doing it, you know. I'd had a couple of fights when I was younger. I say I'd been doing it for 10 years, probably a lot longer than that, but 10 years has been my life. Once I started, I knew I was going to train for the rest of my life, but I didn't think that I could be what I am. I think I probably limited myself in that aspect, but it was just take every fight as it came. Every fight I probably thought to myself, this is the fucking last one, I'm never doing this again. As I'm warming up in the changing room, thinking, fuck this, what am I doing? But just intrusive thoughts, like, you know, it's all part of the nerves and everything that came with it. But yeah, I probably wouldn't have believed that I'd be flying to fucking Dubai and fighting, you know?
I think that's pretty normal, especially for me, like coming into my career. I did it on the back of 5 weeks of MMA training, went straight professional. I didn't know what I was going to be, who I was going to be, or what was in line, or the potential that this career could come with it. And I think a lot of people get caught up on joining the sport and thinking, I need to have the goal of going to the UFC. I have to have the goal of doing this. I'm all for setting clear goals for your intent and intensity, but at the same time, like, join the sport for the love of the sport and for what it does for you, and then let your goals align and your actions align with it. I think some people join the sport thinking, this is my one goal, and when it doesn't happen or they hit their first kind of hiccup, it kind of derails the whole process because they're not in love with it. I think, yeah, like you said before, being in love with it is a huge kind of aspect of it. At what point did you start seeing kind of the stars align and you thinking, all right, cool, I actually have a shot to do something with this?
I think it was after the Daniel Almeida fight. It was the first middleweight fight. Up until then, if I'm being totally honest, I think I was just fucking winging it. You know, I knew I enjoyed fighting, but I was just winging it. I thought, I suppose that like a bit of imposter syndrome, thinking everybody's going to find out I'm actually fucking useless at this. But like, I think a middleweight fight, I was like, fuck, I'm actually pretty good in it. And I started believing it myself. Yeah, that kind of changed. I felt like my skill set improved. I feel like my commitment improved. I think it was a conversation I actually had with my friend back home, Tom Barry, who kind of, he was up against it. He had a baby on the way. He was making money as a plumber. He loved jiu-jitsu, wanted to do jiu-jitsu full time, and he just burnt his boats. You know, he quit his job, sold his tools, went all in on jiu-jitsu, teaching it, competing in it, which, you know, isn't that much money competing, but like dove in doing that when he had a family on the way. And that dawned on me how much more I could be doing. And I think like I upped my commitment levels, and I cut out a lot of the shit that was holding me back. And I think that was the next step, obviously, like coming down from being a fat light heavyweight down to doing a lot better, being in shape as a middleweight. And I think that just improved everything, you know? Yeah.
It's funny that imposter syndrome, it's so real, hey?
Fuck yeah.
Especially if you, like I had a little bit of success at the start of my career. I remember chatting to Tom, I'm like, I don't feel like it's warranted. Like, my first few fights all went first round finishes, and I'm like, oh shit, someone's gonna find out that I'm actually not that good.
Yeah, the intrusive thoughts, not just the imposter syndrome. I think like that should be talked about a little bit more when it comes to fighting. I was on a podcast yesterday, and I was talking about how the Kit Campbell fight, before walking out, I remember having a recurring intrusive thought, thinking, I hope I lose this fight. I want to lose this fight. I should lose this fight. And it was like so ridiculous because I trained so hard for it. And it wasn't me thinking that, you know. But I remember speaking to a sports psychologist, and he was saying that it was a defense thing for your brain, just taking control of the situation. Like, you can't really take control of winning a fight, but you can kind of like you can take control by losing a fight and thinking this is an easier option, you know. And like, not for a second did I go out there and like, as soon as the fight started, I was fighting, you know. But like, I remember having that overwhelming thought over and over, like before walking out, and I was like uncomfortable. But I think like, and at the time I was like, this is so weird, you know. Speaking to the guy, he was like, no, that's a really common thing with athletes. But yeah, it's interesting what your mind does. Like,
It's terrifying, to be honest, because you do everything to be prepped, and on the day, your mind's just screaming at you all the wrong things. What you were just saying there, I talk to my fighters and call it the protection mechanism. Like, if you sprain your ankle, it inflames, and that inflammation is to limit the movement of that ankle to protect it, right? Those voices are the inflammation of your brain trying to protect you from doing something stupid like jump in a cage and try and fight someone, because it's pretty unnatural and quite frightening to the nervous system. So it'll do anything to kind of stop you from doing that. But learning to shut those voices out are super important. I think it was the fight against Benny Johnson. Now, correct me if I'm speaking out of hand here, but if that fight had gone differently, we could be having a different discussion on the terms where you could be fighting on UFC. Like, that was the kind of 1 or 2 steps away from being in that position. Am I wrong in saying that?
yeah, it's actually twice that happened. Like the Matt Myers fight, like, and you never really know how close you are, but like, you get told by certain people, if you win this fight, there's a good chance you're going to get either signed or more likely get a contender shot. And the Matt Myers fight, where the spinning back kick, that was one of them. And then the Ben Johnson fight, yeah, same kind of deal.
How'd that feel?
Oh, shit. The Matt Myers one probably hurt the most, I think, because I was so shocked by it, you know? Because I'd beaten Matt on like a short notice fight, and I was not fit. I just got recovered from a broken hand, so I hadn't done any striking for months. And I'd managed to out-wrestle him, so I went into the second fight, full camp, fully fit, ready to go. And I wouldn't say I was overconfident, but I believed that I was going to win. And I wasn't like brash and like relaxed or whatever, but I was so sure I was going to win. Which is stupid to say, because I didn't feel like overconfident in myself and my abilities and relaxed still, but I was confident in the result before going in there. And the fight didn't go my way. He caught me with a cracking spinning back kick, stopped me, and I remember being so shocked. Like, I was just backstage, like, I could not believe that this just happened, you know? And like, it's just like, how did that just happen? I just remember going, what the fuck? And I just kept repeating what the fuck like 10 times over. So that was real bad. And I had I ended up having shoulder surgery, which kept me out training for 6 months. And I didn't end up fighting again until 9 months later, when Brogan actually, when I fought Brogan, Matt had actually got injured. I fought Brogan for the belt again, won it back. So not being able to go back and rectify a loss like that hurt a lot. It was a bit of a head fuck. I won the belt from Brogan, back on top, you know, like, back on top, like mentally, like not like I'm the man, but I was like, won the fight, like felt better than I ever did. It felt like I'd, going into the Matt Myers fight, I felt like I was so defensive the whole fight and I came up short and I hurt my pride so bad. So then the Brogan Anderson fight, I just wanted to go in there and just throw myself into the fire, come out and obviously got a good finish. Second time round, defend the belt then again against Benny Johnson. Obviously dropped the ball. It was a good fight. It was actually, out of all my fights, the Ben Johnson fight was one of my favourites for how I felt in there. I felt amazing. It was a fun fight as well. Back and forth. It was a hard fight. I felt like I was beating him in exchanges on the feet. Marginally, you know, just how you feel like it's in there. It's not like I was beating him up. But I remember Doyley saying to me in the corner, he's like, he's a world champion kickboxer and you're beating him on the feet, like stick with the striking. But I didn't. I ended up taking him down. I think I shot him, took him down, he got back up, he hip tossed me, managed to get a rear naked choke with no hooks in because he's got fucking massive long arms. I can remember again, I was just so shocked that he'd actually got it. I remember being in the position and my head, because I was so caught off guard, I was like, fuck. How did I get you? Hesitation cost me the fight. And yeah, after that, I was just fucking devastated. You know? It's such a kick in the nuts because you got this fucking goal and you think, I've just got to get across this line, and then you don't. But that's the fight game, you know. I think like I got no one to blame other than myself for making those mistakes. That's what I actually like about fighting as well. No matter what happens, you're the one that goes into that fight. Whatever your preparation is, you go into that fight and you've got to get the job done. And I fucked up, you know. So yeah, that stung for a while, but it was one of my favorite fights as well.
Yeah, I remember being there that night. I think that was my fight against Nick Kepu, or it was against Darcy Noonan. And I had this fight, I felt on top of the world, and I was in a really good position in my career, and then I turned around and watched you lose that fight, but also I had known where you were sitting in the talks that were potentially going to come from defending that belt and maybe another fight or two. I felt that heartbreak in that. And it's such a brutal sport, like you've had it snatched once, but twice. How do you go, all right, Johnny, get up, this is what we're doing?
I just love it. I love the game, I love the training. I think at that point in my career, I was like, I can't just be like outcome focused on this. I was still 100% believing that I was going to be in the UFC, but like at the same time, I was like, I need to stop focusing on like the result of the fight. I need to win this fight. I remember Ben Vickers saying, it was after the Matt Myers fight actually. I remember going over, watching the boys training in Scrappy before Jack was fighting in Perth it was. And Ben was saying to the boys, don't think about the wins or losses. Go out there and perform. Like focus on what you're going to do. Don't think about, am I going to win or lose? And I kind of thought back to that a lot, thinking about how I need to just focus on performing and just love what I do. You know, it's like the goalposts are going to change, and like they have changed, especially more so since that fight. Obviously, Stoddard, Darcy. The goalposts have changed so much, but I love what I do. If I, like you said earlier, if I just focused on the UFC, I think my fucking world would fall apart. I'm like, fucking hell, that doesn't, you know, I can't imagine the UFC right now. But like, I didn't get in it just for the UFC. I love training, you know, I love competing. So I just need to focus on that, you know.
It's such a good mindset to have as well. And I think a lot of people entering the sport, amateur and even early in pro, need to adopt that mindset. What do you see your future looking like in the next year, 2, 3?
As a fighter, I just want to take as many fights as I can and just make some memories and make some money. Pretty much, yeah. I just want to make some memories, you know. You like win, lose or draw. I just want to go out there and make fights that I'm gonna look back and go, that was cool as fuck. Going over to Abu Dhabi and fighting, it was like, that's cool as fuck. Even the fight with Darcy Vendy, like I lost the fight, but that was such a fucking fun fight. I lost the fight, he fucking stopped me, knocked me out. But it was such a fun fight to look back on. It was like, yeah, it was just a fucking war, do you know what I mean? It's like, stuff like that I'm gonna look back on when I'm in my 40s and 50s, and I'm not gonna feel what it felt like to lose and the pain after it. I'm gonna go back and go, that was such a mad fight. And I think that's what I wanna do it for, and make some money along the way.
And isn't it crazy? Wouldn't you say that's the same goals that align with you when you very first started? You just wanted to fight and have some fun.
Yeah. That's wild.
It's full circle.
That's wild.
That's why you entered it, and look, you're living exactly that dream. I think that it's such a cool thing, your story, and I've been looking forward to this chat for so long because I know your story and we talk about this quite often, but that's a full circle moment, man. Like, you're living the dream that you set out to have when you first started the sport. Yeah, man, like you're living your dream 10 years ago. And it's really, really cool to see that potential is for all athletes, that you don't have to be so fixated on one thing. The goalposts shift, life shifts, there's gonna be losses, but your losses have led you to this, which is pretty cool, man.
And to like add on that, which is funny you should bring it up, is like a couple of days ago, I was speaking to Axel on the way to Brizzy to train, and he was saying, don't you ever stop and think, like my daughter Lila, he's like, Lila's gonna have babies one day, and they're gonna look back and they're gonna go, look at Grandad John, and look what a mad cunt he was, fucking fighting everywhere, going in the cage and fighting people. And that's kind of cool, that's a cool fucking thought, yeah.
Now, it's been fun finally getting down here to kind of check out the gym and the culture that you're building, but more so to actually be your teammate over the last few years at this point in your career, and to be leading by example, what this sport can kind of do for anyone that just has a love for it and passion and applies himself 100%, which you have done for so long. So firstly, thank you. Thank you for all the lessons you've taught me. Thank you for having me in the gym. And I'm looking forward to the next kind of few years of your career as well, and the big fights and potential that is still on the cards for your career, man. So if there's anything else you want to say?
I just want to thank you as well. I appreciate everything. Thanks for coming up, and thanks for dropping a little bit of knowledge for the boys. I appreciate it a lot. And like, you know, you taught me a lot as well. It's been such a massive asset to my game coming down and training with you boys at Compton. Like, you know, I've been training and fighting for such a long time, and to come down and get humbled like at a later stage in my career where I thought that I was better than what I was. Yeah, it's been interesting, man. It's been cool, and this is just, yeah, so exciting what you're doing, yeah.